written rules. There are so many rules, okay, involved, so it can also constitute a cause of complaint. Yeah. And the bar council, can lodge complaints at disciplinary board and also can make intervention under section 88A and section 94 clause 4. If you have your LPA review, you can flip to the page concerned, 88A and 94 clause 4. So 88A is on suspension of advocate and solicitor. Okay, the bar council, look at the last para, okay, at page 97. Yeah, for my act, and the bar council considers that it would be in the public interest or in the interest of its clients or of the profession that such advocate and solicitor be suspended from practice. The bar council may apply by summons to the Chief Justice ex parte, okay, a one-sided application for an order suspending such advocate and solicitor from practice under further order. So in the case of, in the case of serious misconduct which can amount to suspension, then the bar council has the power to apply by summons, okay, for an order of suspension, okay, and also to intervene. See section 94 clause 4. Okay, for the second one, 94 clause 4. If you see the section, there are certain consequences as a result of a misconduct. Okay, if this occurs, any of this occurs, okay, for instance that the advocate and solicitor has been found by a court, okay, guilty of any dishonesty, misuse or misappropriation of money, okay, or has been disbarred, struck off, suspended or reprimanded, or is the subject of a complaint concerning any dishonest act, okay, so has left the country or has not attended at his office, or is otherwise incapable from infirmity or body of mind. And the bar council, the last para, yeah, and the bar council considers that it would be in the public interest or the interest of the clients or profession that such advocate and solicitor be suspended. The bar council may apply to the DB, disciplinary board, for an order of suspension. So these are very specific circumstances for the bar council to intervene, okay, and both involve suspension. Yeah. So for misconduct, you can look at section 92, from 92 to 111. Yeah. Okay, these are on of the LPA. Yeah? Okay, so this is the part concerning disciplinary proceedings. All right. So please go through all these provisions, and for the misconducts, you can specifically look through section 94 and the subsections. Yeah, 94.3. Yeah. Okay, 94.3. Misconduct means conduct or omission. Okay, either positive actions or omission, something that you did not do, okay, to act in Malaysia or elsewhere by an advocate and solicitor in a professional capacity or otherwise which amounts to grave impropriety. And they include, so the list is not exhaustive because of the word such includes, okay. So you have A up to O, okay. So you can classify, such misconduct into several, categories such as dishonesty or fraud. Second is breaching LPA or the rulings under it. Okay, and the third is, being convicted or of a serious offense can also amount to a misconduct. Okay, and this one is misappropriation of money or monetary dishonesty, charging manifestly excessive fees, all right, inordinate delay, unbefitting conduct, all right, and gross disregard of the client's interests, all right. So you can try to figure out which provision fits into any of these, scopes, all right. Or you may have others if they're not listed, so you can further identify, for instance, from your readings and from decided cases. So it's quite broad ranging, okay, in terms of the kinds of acts that can amount to misconduct. Okay. So breach of stakeholders' duty can also be a kind of misconduct, yeah. For instance, in the case where we discussed before, involving a solicitor acting for not only the purchaser but also the financier or the banker. Okay, in other words, um, the solicitor acts for two or more parties, all right, at the same time. So the solicitor concerned has to realize that he must strictly adhere to the terms of the stakeholding. Yeah? For instance, no money or document held by solicitor as a stakeholder shall be released, shall be utilized, applied, okay, or otherwise dealt, okay, by him, except in accordance with the terms of the stakeholding or with the express written consent of all relevant parties. All right. So we did look at the conveyancing guidelines before, whereby there are certain prudent actions that the lawyer acting for two parties, okay, to undertake in order to avoid conflict of interest. Okay, this relates to also the duty to adhere with the terms of the stakeholding, okay, not to do anything which amounts to conflict or against the express consent of the respective parties. Yeah? The example given here is a solicitor holding the final 5% of the purchase price under a sale and purchase agreement, all right, prescribed by this regulation, okay, housing development control and licensing. It must not, for whatever reason, release the same amount of money before the expiry of the stakeholding period, or not to release in contravention of Schedule G agreement or Schedule H, as the case may be. So this one is specific for S&P prescribed under these regulations, okay? Not the general one, but under this regulation. So this one, if you don't comply, it's a form of misconduct, all right? So let's go on to look at the disciplinary board and the disciplinary committee. These are the two bodies that shall be responsible to hear complaints and decide on the complaint. All right. So first level, you have the disciplinary board, and the second level is the disciplinary committee. So ASDB is a disciplinary board. It's a statutory body established under Section 99 Clause 3 of the LPA, okay, and it has the power to conduct disciplinary proceedings against advocate and solicitors, as well as to mete out appropriate punishment. Yeah? And this body is independent from the Bar Council. Yeah? because we need to ensure transparency and accountability in the conduct of, establishing justice by the disciplinary board, so that there is no bias, in the conduct and decisions given. And so Bar Council does not exercise any right or control over the investigation process. All right, so disciplinary board comprises firstly the chairman, second the president of the Malaysian Bar or any member of Bar Council, and 15 practitioner members of the bar of not less than 15 years standing. So the composition of the disciplinary committee, you have it in your 103A, section 103A. So we have 3 members. First is the first consists of 2 advocates and solicitors, and the other one a lay person appointed from the disciplinary committee panel. So we have the panel to appoint these the members of disciplinary committee. Okay. 94.2 talks about the the consequences of being liable for any of the misconduct, okay, or guilty of any of the misconducts. 94. This is a power of the disciplinary board, okay, whether to strike off the role, to suspend from practice for the misconduct, and to be ordered to pay a fine, okay, to order them to order the advocate and solicitors to pay a fine not exceeding 50,000, and to be reprimanded or censured, in other words, to this one is to be given a warning, to be given a warning. Okay, the last one.
Compliant.
Advocate, sorry, how does the disciplinary board deal with the complaint? Right. So first they will deliberate on a complaint in order to decide whether there is merit on the issues alleged. All right. And the second requires them to establish whether if there is a merit, then they will direct that the disciplinary committee to be constituted to conduct a formal inquiry, all right, to issue notice to the solicitor to appear and tender his or her explanation. And if the merit is not established, then the complaint will be dismissed, okay, without a formal hearing. So the second layer is to establish a disciplinary committee to conduct a formal inquiry. Is there an avenue to appeal against the decision of the disciplinary board? Okay, yes, by lodging an appeal from the is there a need to represent counsel at the disciplinary hearing? Well, specific law and procedures are advised to engage a solicitor of their choice to ensure their rights and interests are protected, so they can if they're not well versed with the law and procedures, right? So their task is to present some of the common complaints and ELB recent cases involving professional misconduct, by advocate and solicitor. You can also draw a diagram of from complaint lodge up until until decision and appeal. Okay, if it is helpful for you to further understand, then please discuss this the step by step SOP or procedures, yeah, aside from the cases. So boleh ke yang ni? So ini secara general saja. Yang lain tu kita boleh discuss nanti dalam apa tu coming tutorials lah. You punya video presentation is on what topic is it? Is it on this topic?
It's about publicizing.
Different, yeah. Do you have any assignment on this topic?
I'm sorry, Doctor.
Do you have any assignment on this topic that you have to submit?
About this professional misconduct, is it?
Yes.
That written assignment that we have submitted before this, that one is under professional misconduct.
Alright. So you're gonna discuss this as well, right?
Hey, Doctor, sorry. It's not about the written assignment, but the case review. Sorry.
Oh, okay. So it's also helpful. You can use the case review that you have prepared to discuss them in the tutorial lah, kan?
Right.
Ini secara quick overview saja, saya tak pergi in depth lah ya. You boleh tengok dia tak adalah complicated ya. It's just to understand the procedures. Okay, the rights of the parties, the types of sanctions, and the normal complaints, the nature of the complaints, the types of cases. So kalau tak ada soalan tak?
Doctor, I have one question. For let's say an advocate and solicitor, that this advocate and solicitor being suspended from practicing, while at the same time he got a case to handle. So what about that case?
That one I think will fall under intervention by the Bar Council. Okay. So the Bar Council has the power to intervene. Jadi dalam kejap ya. 94 tadi ya. So if you look at 94. Okay. I think in intervening, the Bar Council has the power to also apply to the court for a case to be adjourned or things like that. So it falls under I think the duty of the Bar Council, right, to get further order from the court, things like that. Okay.
So meaning to say that the Bar Council
boleh find out yourself juga what happen, especially kalau dia dah kena suspend. Okay. Kalau dia hanya diminta untuk hadir dan defend himself, I don't think there is a need to for the Bar Council to intervene yet. Tapi kalau dia dah di-struck off ataupun digantung daripada praktis, then that's the role of the Bar Council, okay, to go and get further order from the court ataupun other types of actions lah, appropriate actions for the case to be transferred to another lawyer dan sebagainya.
Okay, alright. Thank you, Doktor.
Ada soalan? Kalau tak, kalau you tak dapat jawapan today, you can research and then we can discuss dalam tutorial nanti. Yang lain-lain? Ada soalan lain tak? Okay, what is an order of reprimand or censure that I just explained just now? Can anybody tell me again? Reprimand or censure? What section and what does it mean by that?
Madam,
Yeah.
it was in section 94, subsection 2, and reprimanded meaning that to be given a warning.
94 subsection. Okay. To be given a warning. All right. Can you give examples of maybe cases that you have come across that involve a misconduct? Anybody? Kita dah banyak discuss cases kan? So maybe you would like to highlight a type of misconduct that can occur, okay, based on the cases we have discussed.
Tan Sri Syafiq Abdullah.
What has he done?
In a sale and purchase agreement that involve fraudulent.
What has Tan Sri Syafiq Abdullah done? Saya tak ingat kes yang melibatkan beliau ni, kes mana? What about cases yang kita look under general conduct of the profession? Ada banyak such as touting, apa lagi?
Misappropriation of money.
Yes, misappropriation, accepting involving yourself in a business which is inappropriate with the nature of your profession. Okay, banyak ya, yang some of which kita dah lihat dalam cases. Nanti you prepare untuk cases ni, kita discuss and buat sekali diagram untuk tengok the process which leads to from the start complain sampailah habis ya. Saya juga nak tanya, if you are aware of students that have not been able to attend our online our online classes so far, please let me know. Dan juga yang ada masalah ketidakhadiran ya. Saya belum check secara detail lagi, tapi kalau you tahu, please let me know ya. You can PM me lah ya. Because we want to refer to the deputy, what actions I should take in that regard. Alright, kalau tak ada nanti I will update you. Kita supposed to meet Rabu kan? Betul ke?
Rabu for tutorial, is it? For tutorial tomorrow.
Rabu ke tomorrow, please check semula.
I will. Okay, sure.
Okay, Rabu ataupun Selasa. The arrangement with KLB2 is saya rasa hari Khamis kan?
Hari
KLB
Rabu.
hari Rabu
8 hari bulan.
Untuk KLB1?
KLB for tutorial.
KLB 1 sampai 4 ni boleh tengok balik jadual dia bila? Okay. Ada tak you punya timing 2 jam kan? 1 jam dengan 2 TLB, 1 jam lagi dengan 2 lagi TLB. Yang ni hari apa? Selasa
Yes.
Okay, so standby untuk tomorrow daripada pukul, hari tu kita buat pukul berapa? Buat 11, 12, 1 ya?
Hari tu sebab yang last week punya tu kita
Okay.
buat hari Rabu. But then waktu tu yang kita buat hari Rabu tu sebab ada kelas yang
Cancel.
kelasnya cancel. Sebab tu kami buat hari Rabu. But then I think we have to stick to our normal schedule.
Tuesday.
Later, yes. Later I will update you about the timing. Is it okay with you, Doctor?
Kalau you nak buat after masa 3, 4, 4, 5, normally pagi saya sibuk sikit.
Okay.
Okay. And then untuk KLB tu kita dah decide 12/1/12 ya? Hari Rabu.
Hari Rabu. Jadual KLB tu saya tak sure sekejap
Tak apa saya check. Tak apa, nanti saya follow up dengan diorang punya on Thursday 12/1/23. Okay. Alright, I think I can show this one to you. This is an article di dalam boleh mail boleh tengok nanti artikel ni. So Bar Council encourages public to report dishonesty to its disciplinary board. Alright, so kalau you baca, okay, nampak tak saya punya cursor ni? In intervention proceedings, an intervener solicitor armed with a resolution issued by the Bar Council and certificate under Section 88(1) tadi will proceed to take control of the files or documents of a firm and instruct the bank concerned to freeze the client's accounts of the firm to enable a full investigation and audit to be carried out. Okay, ini dalam keadaan fraud ataupun breach of trust lah. So it will be up to the resolution issued by the Bar Council on how, for instance, like you raised just now, the case that is still pending to be handled afterwards, okay, following, for instance, suspension of a solicitor. So mungkin ada resolution di sini. So if monies belonging to the clients are found, they will be returned to the clients. Okay. The intervener solicitor will arrange for the winding up of the firm with all the files returns to the respective clients. Alright. Okay, and also bear in mind, each member of the Bar Council must make a compulsory yearly contribution to the compensation fund. Mula-mula dulu kita tengok sepintas kali compensation fund. Okay, to mitigate the losses suffered by members of the public. Okay, akibat penipuan ataupun pecah amanah, dan this is the fund, like a pool of fund where the public can be compensated aside from mungkin compensation yang diterima daripada perintah mahkamah. This is also another way in which public can be, the losses of the public can be reduced or be mitigated. So a person who has sustained a loss as a result of the dishonesty can make an application for a grant from the compensation fund. Okay. Selain daripada itu, there is a requirement for every advocate and solicitor to take up professional indemnity insurance untuk digunakan bagi mungkin kes-kes seperti misconduct dan sebagainya, where there are limits to monetary liabilities. Okay, kalau ada insurance, registered insurance. So boleh baca banyak articles yang berkaitan dekat sini. And the misconduct not only applies to a qualified person yang telah diterima masuk sebagai advocate and solicitor, but also to a pupil, chambering student ataupun a pupil, as you may call it, can also be subjected to misconduct juga. Boleh tengok dalam one of the provisions spells this out. Alright, kalau tak ada soalan, I think it's setakat itu untuk hari ni. I will download the attendance. Okay. Right, so thank you. Kalau tak ada soalan, I will end the session. Ada lagi soalan?
Tak ada, doktor. Nanti di schedule will update you. Alright.
Okay. Alright, thank you all. Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi.
Waalaikumsalam. Korang nak kelas bila?
Sekejap, aku nak stop recording.